Good day, buddies! My name is Johanna Christine Febri Nainggolan, and today I would like to present my reading report regarding to the topic 8 entitled Genre versus Register. So the first point that I want to explain is what is text varieties? So text varieties is the variety of text, such as the differences in the forms, in the standards of composition, then the different purposes, and many other example of text varieties. Text varieties, kinds of text can be found in the newspaper, in the letter, in the email, in the text messages, in the editorials, in the letters, and etc. and many other example. So we come to the point of genre, register, and styles. So there are three different perspectives on text varieties. The first one is the register perspective, and the second one the genre perspective, and then the third one is the style perspective. The genre perspective combines an analysis of linguistic characteristics that are in common in a text variety with analysis of the situation of the use of the variety. It focuses on the pronoun and the verb's function in relation to the communicative purpose. Meanwhile, the genre perspective is similar to register perspective that including description of the purpose and situational context of a text variety, and it is and the genre perspective focus on the conventional structures used to construct a complete text. For example, conventional ways in which a letter begins and ends. And then the third one, the style perspective, is analyzing the use of core linguistic features that are distributed throughout text, samples from a variety. Styles features reflect the aesthetic preference associated with the particular authors or historical periods. And then we have to know that the differences between three of them are the register perspective can be used to analyze all text varieties. Meanwhile, the genre perspective is especially used for discussing academic research articles, while the style perspective is especially used for discussing fictional prose. So that are the basic and the most important differences between three of them. And then we come to the next point is text varieties, registers, and dialect. So text can refer to a natural language used for communication, whether it is in speech or in writing. Text can be described according to their context and and considering the characteristic of the people who produce the text, and then the characteristic of the situations and communicative purposes associated with the text. And then the term variety is used for category of a text. So variety is a category of a text that variety shares some social and situational characteristics. For example, a national variety of English refers to the text produced by the speakers of English. For example, British English, American English, Australian English, Singaporean English, Indian English, and any etc. While dialect is referred from varieties that are associated with different groups or different groups of the speakers. For example, people who live in a different region, different geographical uh, region, and then different social economical groups or different ethnic groups. So dialect is the variety of text that consider that associated with the different groups of the speakers. And then we come to the next point of this material is complete text and text excerpt. A complete text is an instance of extended discourse that has a clear start and has a clear finish. So, such as, for example, a research article or a sermon. We know that a research article or a sermon, of course, have a clear start and then have a clear end, while a text excerpt is a segment of discourse that extracted from a larger complete text. For example, we might discuss two or three paragraphs or of a novel. That is the example of text excerpt. That is the differentiation between a complete text and text excerpt. And then the last point is genre, style in literary studies. So literary genres means as varieties of literature. Varieties of literature that employ different textual conventions. The terms genre emphasize on textual conventions. For example, there are three major genres of literature. They are poetry, drama, and fictional prose. So the style perspective becomes more important to describe the characteristic discourse associated with different authors and time periods, that they are reflecting the different aesthetic preferences. For example, in the 18th century, the fictional prose are characterized as long sentences. Meanwhile, in 20th century, the fictional prose is characterized in the more shorter sentences. So that's all the material of this topic. In conclusion, that genre and register are different. Uh, Genre, there are three different perspectives on text varieties. The register perspective can be used to analyze all varieties of text. Meanwhile, the genre perspective is used especially for discussing academic research articles, and the style perspective especially useful for discussing fictional prose. I think that's all my understanding regarding the topic 8. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next topic.